For some, this is the Queen of Hills, while for others, it is this mystic place of pine forests shrouded in a spooky mist. Or maybe you've heard of its world famous tea, the champagne of teas, Darjeeling tea. A place boasting of acres and acres of tea gardens. Or maybe you somehow got to know about the Darjeeling Himalayan Railways, which was built by the British during 1880s. And I know it sounds unbelievable, but the steam engine trains still run today. But for me, this is a place that I keep coming back to every few years. What started as family trips when I was just 5 years old soon became a place that started feeling like home. Maybe it was the mountains with the promise of Kanchenjunga, or the misty forests, or probably the tea gardens, or maybe just the food that kept bringing me back here. A very quintessential part of all my Darjeeling trips has been coming to this particular restaurant, which is Glenary's. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the crown jewel of the northern part of Bengal, Darjeeling. A very good morning from the Queen of Hills, Darjeeling. I'm right now standing on the balcony of our stay. It's called the Hidden Monkeys Backpackers, and it's almost very, very cloudy. So it doesn't feel like it's 10 o'clock. But then these coniferous trees behind me, they look so freaking beautiful. But because it's cloudy, so the entire view beyond this is just shrouded. So yesterday we actually arrived here at around almost 8:30. Anurag, he came in from Bagdogra by I think 5:30 around that time. So we waited till 6 for the shared cabs to get filled from the junction bus stand, and it took us I think 250 rupees per person from Shiliguri to Darjeeling. Darjeeling is located around 600 kilometers from Kolkata, so the easiest way to reach here if you're starting from the city would be to take an overnight bus like me. You can check on Red Bus for online booking. There are tons of options available with prices of AC seaters starting from around 1000, 1200 and going up above. Loknath and Shamali are two of my personal favorites. You can also check out Modern Travels, Easy Ride and Green Line. For this trip, I booked a Loknath semi-sleeper for 1200 rupees. Honestly, I did not see while booking that they were going to give us food as well. So I was so damn happy when they handed out this packets. I've never been on a bus that has given packets. Bus. This is Mishti. Love guys. Love it. This is huge packets. I love this fresh. Thank you, indulgence sweet. So good. Also, there were charging ports near each seat and quite a lot of leg space for comfortable seating. It's almost a 12 hours journey, but these semi-sleeper reclining seats make the entire thing super smooth. Good night. Good morning. The bus reached Siliguri almost 30 minutes before the designated time, and I decided to wait at the NBSTC bus stand because my boyfriend's flight was gonna arrive in the later half of the day at Bagdogra Airport, which is Siliguri's airport. And the good thing is that there are direct flights from all over India, including major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. So, if you are coming from any other part of India, you do not necessarily have to come to Kolkata first unless you want to explore the city of joy as well. Which, personally, if you ask me, I would obviously ask you to visit because honestly, there is so much to explore. It is full of heritage and stories, and the food is definitely to die for. Anyways, back at the NBSTC bus stand in Siliguri, I sat by myself with this novel, Yellow Face, by this author named R.F. Kuang. If any of you have read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I personally found this to be a very gritty read, highlighting all the stuff that goes on in the publishing industry, as well as the toxic influence of social media on it. Quite an eye opening read. Guess whose flight was delayed? We finally started the journey for Darjeeling at 6 p.m. from the Junction bus stand. There are tons of these shared cabs that run between Siliguri and Darjeeling, so you can basically walk up to anybody and ask when's the next one leaving. The entire drive is extremely beautiful because as soon as you get outside of the main town, you start seeing these tea gardens and dense forests, and before long, you start seeing the hills as well, which soon enough you are going to be climbing all the way up. Because Darjeeling is 6,700 feet above the sea level, whereas Siliguri is on the plains at around 400 feet above the sea level. The thing that I was trying to say is that for Darjeeling, there are lots of shared cabs that you will get. If you come by train, then you'll obviously be getting down at NJP station. From NJP, the price is usually a little higher. They would probably end up charging you 400, 500 per person. But if you can come till Shiliguri, I think you can get shared rickshaws or something from NJP for just 10 rupees. And once you are in Shiliguri, it costs you like 250 rupees per person, which is what it costed us. Also, please don't mind the hair. I just woke up. Yeah. And because it's a month of June, Darjeeling is super duper crowded, and this should be proof enough. There's this huge line of cars that's coming from Shiliguri. This is the line that is coming from Shiliguri, okay? And it's been like this since 5 or 6 in the morning. And, we're not actually staying in Darjeeling town. We're like, I think almost 10-15 minutes out towards this place called Batasha Loop. Batasha Loop is this very significant heritage point, which is like only 2 minutes from here. So that's where we are staying. This property, Hidden Monkeys, is there. And regarding this stay, I actually forgot to record anything yesterday night because we were just too tired. But we had our dinner. It was super, homely, wholesome. We had like just rice and potato fries and what else? Yeah, egg curry, and it was so good. Wait, let me give you a quick room tour. This is the room where we are staying. As soon as you walk in, there's the washroom here. There's a geyser, and then hi. He's sitting with his laptop. They have Wi-Fi, so he's kind of getting ready for a meeting. And this space, I love this space. It's so cutesy. And right here you have the windows, and then we have not one, but actually two balconies. And this is the one where I was just talking to you from. The food here is fabulous. The people are also nice who run the place. It's actually a backpackers hostel. But then I did see family members as well because they do have private rooms like the one I showed you. And they have bunk beds as well. The room next to us is a dormitory, in fact. We booked a premium room with balcony. Not a lot of view per se of the mountains because the trees block the view beyond. The Kanchenjunga should have been visible beyond this somewhere. But apart from that, it's pretty good. People are nice, everything is fantastic. The only problem is with this room in particular because this opens up to the road, right? I'm just standing on the balcony and I showed you that just behind me is the main road. So the problem is that you'll start hearing a lot of noises since like 4 o'clock in the morning because 4 o'clock A lot of people would be going towards Tiger Hill Observatory for the sunrise, and then the people would start coming in from Shiliguri. So, lot of traffic on the road, and this is the main highway basically that goes till Darjeeling. So that is a problem that I did not like about this one. But other than that, it's super amazing. We got it at a great deal. So, but then the pro point of this is that because it's right on the road, there's the entire Darjeeling toy train track. So we've been seeing like toy trains coming and going since morning. So that is again a pretty cool sight. The over 140 years old UNESCO World Heritage, the Darjeeling Himalayan Railways, is a quintessential part of this hill town. It is so cool to see that the toy trains still run on the tracks that were laid out by the British in 1881. So, needless to say, it is a pretty legendary one. And you know what is even more legendary? It's the fact that there are trains on this route that still run on the steam engine. That sound of the steam engine locomotive, one of the very rare sounds that is so elusive in the 21st century ever since the invention of diesel and electric trains. And this is one of the things that I love the most about Darjeeling. It's not just any other hill station. Going here rather feels like a step back in time, like living in a page of history, which is why at least once in a life, try to experience this toy train joyride. It's a 1.5 hours ride, and you can book the tickets online priorly from the IRCTC website or the app. Just make sure that you put Darjeeling as your source and destination stations. Same for both. So I'm now headed for Patasha Lok, which is like 2-3 minutes walk from this stay. Let's go. So there's a small entry fee of 50 rupees for Batasha Lok. You just take the ticket and up we go. So beautiful. So the toy train that you see here is the reason why Batasha Loop is quite significant. The toy train track is laid out in a loop, as the name suggests, amidst a beautiful flowering garden. This spot was quite significant because right after Ghum, you have the Darjeeling station, and Ghum is like the highest point, and there's a very steep drop from Ghum to Darjeeling. So the engineers were quite confused, like, इतने जल्दी इतना drop कैसे control करे? So that is why they created this Batasha Loop. I think it was in 1919 when this was commissioned, and therefore we have this engineering marvel. Of course, aside from its historical prominence, you can go here for the beautiful garden space. Maybe you can also dress up like the locals or just spend some relaxing time looking upon the gorgeous views of the hilly mountains, and if you're lucky, then maybe also the Kanchenjunga on a clear sky day. There's the town of Darjeeling, a really cool viewpoint, you see, and the Kanchenjunga would have been visible somewhere. But alas, as you can see, it's entirely covered in clouds. You can also pay like 50 rupees and take a look at the distant mountains through these binoculars. Of course, if you're unlucky like me and you get a cloudy weather like this, तो आपको कुछ नहीं दिखेगा. At the center of the garden, you'll also see the Gorkha War Memorial dedicated to all the Gorkha soldiers who have lost their lives. Gorkha War Memorial, this one behind me. lots of photo opportunities because I love Darjeeling. We didn't do breakfast this morning, therefore we came to this one cafe called Kokoria, which was like 2 minutes from our stay. And the reason we actually came to this cafe is because there's a very nice view. Wait, let me show you. Yeah. And that's a train line. So whenever the toy train goes, you can just sit and just enjoy the view. Food is taking a lot of time though to come. I think we've been sitting here for almost 20 minutes. Yeah. But then again, they do have Wi-Fi, so this dude here is getting his office work done. Still trying to figure out what it took for this order to be produced in 55 minutes. It took almost an hour for the sandwiches to arrive, and then the momos took even more time. So by the time that arrived, we got a little bit cranky because both of us were super hungry. But the overall ambience of the cafe, the aesthetic decor, the view of the mountain, and the sweetest staff kind of made up for the slow service. And then of course, can you really stay sad any longer if you have a plate of Darjeeling momos in front of you? So we'll save the momos for now, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog because I have so much more to show you from our journey after this. So I hope you'll stick around for more and more scenic views and lots and lots of fun adventure. Oh, and I'd also love to show you where we stayed next because that place is super duper dreamy.